So you might be in a situation where you want to go and see how the iPhone XR holds up against the iPhone 15 Pro. So let me go and give you that type of comparison. I will tell you the iPhone 15 Pro is probably going to be the better one in every single area, but the iPhone XR I think still holds up very well. I cannot get this brightness right on this specific phone. Now, if you want to pick up either one of these phones, links will be down in the description. You get them from there and you can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off with the outside, both these phones are very, very different than one another, but they're both, iPhones. We kind of know what to expect. The iPhone XR, which came out in 2018 on the front, has a 6.1-inch Retina IPS panel on the front. And this was one of the last Retina panels Apple made on their, mid-tier phones. Obviously, the iPhone 11 had it, the SE still has it, but this was a very interesting design choice from Apple because they brought the newer type of design, but they brought it on an IPS display. It's like 750p, so it's really not that high of a resolution. It's also, an outdated type of design a little bit now that we have like dynamic island. We still have the notch up here, pretty thick bezels on this phone too. I mean, it's kind of funny when we look at a phone like this compared to the newer iPhones, and this thing looks so outdated. But at the time, it looked pretty futuristic, not futuristic, but it looked at the like pretty modern back, 5 years ago. But with the iPhone 15 Pro, this is a little bit of a different story. This particular phone, you're going to be getting a much better, just display and much better everything in general. With this type of phone, you're going to be getting the 6.1-inch Super Retina Extra OLED display, which is definitely a better panel for sure. You're getting the dynamic island. You're getting just very solid, display overall, which is very nice. And it's a very good looking phone. Like I said before, I'm a big fan of, Apple phones, and this one still looks very good for me. You can see that we have, 120 hertz ProMotion display on this thing as well, which that in and of itself is a very, very nice thing to have. And I will definitely tell you when it comes down to it, this is a very solid sensor, very solid, display, and it definitely looks better than the iPhone XR. On the sides, there is a little bit of a difference. So we have a flat side on the iPhone 15 Pro. The iPhone XR has this curved side to it. I definitely would say for sure the 15 Pro definitely is a far more superior and just a much better looking side than the iPhone XR, but they both kind of have the same type of structure to them. The XR still has a SIM card tray. On the bottom, the iPhone XR had that Lightning port. The iPhone 15 Pro has a USB-C port. Once again, having USB-C is amazing. It's pretty much the future, and I love having that type of capability on my iPhone 15 Pro, where the iPhone XR basically doesn't have that type of capability. So keep that in mind. But there's still a lot of capability with the Lightning port. On the backside, you can see we have triple camera setup on the iPhone 15 Pro. The iPhone XR had a single camera setup. You have glass backs on both, but the iPhone XR had the standard glass back to it, which looked very, very nice. The 15 Pro had that frosted glass back, which I think looks very, very good for sure. I love having frosted glass backs, and this one looks so premium. I love frosted glass back so much. I'm so glad this type of phone has it. Now you're getting wireless charging on the backside of both of them. You're getting IP certification on them as well, which is really nice. And overall, on the outside, I'm a big fan of the way both these phones kind of look, but I would probably tell you when it comes down to it, a device like the iPhone XR still holds up well, but the 15 Pro is probably the one I would look at as being the more superior one almost every single time. So that kind of covers it up on the outside. Now, in terms of software and longevity, this is going to be the biggest advantages, or one of the biggest advantages for the iPhone, 15 Pro. The XR is like the oldest iPhone on iOS 17. So this device is not going to be lasting that much longer. It's probably going to get like one more version of software, if that, and then that's it. With the iPhone 15 Pro, you are going to be getting a device that is going to be here for many, many generations. For so many years from now, the 15 Pro is going to be supported. So this is probably going to be the better phone I'd recommend a lot of people to buy, or any other phone in between. The XR is almost done getting software updates. The 15 Pro is just getting started getting software updates. So keep that in mind. You're definitely going to be getting a better experience phone on the 15 Pro than on the iPhone XR. Now let's go and do a speed comparison between them. The iPhone XR has that Apple A12 Bionic chip inside of it with 3 gigabytes of RAM, where the iPhone 15 Pro has that Apple A17 Pro chipset inside of it with 8 gigabytes of RAM. The first iPhone with 8 gigs of RAM. So let's go and see which one's the faster one between both. Okay, there we go. All the apps are clear in the background except for the iPhone XR. So let me go ahead and swipe out of all of these, which may take just 2 seconds. There we go. Let's get into it. Phone calls, 3, 2, 1. Totally messed that one up too. I'm gonna hop out of this one. Music, 3, 2, 1. Two different, I don't know why I'm offline here. That's very, very weird. We'll try opening up the app stores, but this one's not going to load up. Very weird that I'm getting that type of pop-up. Camera, 3, 2, 1. Okay, kind of weird thing going on there. Photos, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Let's go and hop out of these two. Let's go and get into, let's try some of these random ones. Let's try stocks, 3, 2, 1. Although this one may not load up because, well, they're both going to load up in their one panel. It's weird that this one is offline. I should have connected to the Wi-Fi. Files 321. Okay, it's gonna hop out of here. iTunes storage is not gonna load up, so let's load up these other games. Let's do Genshin Impact. 321. Now, Genshin Impact is a massive game, and it's a big game that requires a lot of loading and downloading and all that. So we'll just wait until they get into their main panels. And you can see the 15 Pro definitely has kind of won in this specific standpoint. The iPhone XR a little bit slower. Again, not the biggest deal in the world, but the 15 Pro definitely won there. Hopping out of this one, let's go and try Subway Surfers 321. And you can see the 15 Pro definitely won here. With the iPhone XR, so noticeably slower here for sure. So we'll get out of this one. Let's go and get into the game and see if there's any glitches. And you might be able to tell if there are some glitches between both. It's kind of hard for me to tell right now, but going to hop out of this one. So I'm going to do Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And you can see right here, I'm pretty sure that the iPhone 15 Pro was slightly faster, but it was only like a little bit. Even then, it wasn't like a massive difference by any means. You can kind of see what's going on. Yeah, definitely the iPhone 15 Pro kind of glitched up a little bit there, but regardless, both did pretty good, surprisingly, on that one. Let's go try Snapchat 3, 2, 1. Oh, I don't know what happened on the 10R. That was kind of weird. Perfect. Hopping out of here. Let's go and try Roblox, which I do not have. Oh, I do 3, 2, 1. And overall, what I'll definitely tell you is I definitely do think the phone like the iPhone 15 Pro is going to be a significantly faster one almost in every single time. I think the 10R is still doing pretty good. Like, I'm still thinking it's pretty decent. But I definitely do think the 15 Pro is by far the better one I'd recommend buying. It's definitely going to be the performance heavy one for sure. So in terms of that, that kind of covers it up there. Now, in terms of the camera quality, you can see again, I mean, the 10R's camera is just not as good as the 15 Pros. You can need 4K at 60 on the back of both of them, 1080p at 60 on the front of the iPhone XR. iPhone 15 Pro has 4K at 60 on the front. Wide ultra-wide telephoto lens here, just the standard wide-angle lens on the iPhone XR. Now, I still feel like a phone like the iPhone XR is good. It's a good phone, it's a good camera. There's really not a lot to kind of complain about here. And I think from that perspective alone, this is a good device. It's a good camera for how old this phone is, but it is not a good camera I'd recommend people to buy or actively, go after. You're getting video mode, slow mode, time lapse, portrait mode, panorama mode. There's still lots of good features with this type of phone, which I'm very happy about, but I'm just not that big of a fan of this type of device anymore, and it really just doesn't make any sense to buy a phone like this because the camera is like that outdated. With the iPhone 15 Pro, I feel like this is definitely the better sensor here. You're going to be getting the better sensor in almost every single way on something like the iPhone 15 Pro. This is a very good camera. Now, you're getting basically all the features of the XR, but including way more. You're getting cinematic mode, slow mode, you're getting the portrait mode, panorama mode, but every mode that you have on the 10R is improved by so much on the 15 Pro. You're getting 15x zoom as well versus like the 5x zoom on the iPhone XR, and you're getting 0.5x zoom, which the iPhone XR doesn't have. So by far, this is a much better sensor and just a much better camera overall than the iPhone 15 Pro, but you're also getting better performance, better battery life, better capability, longer lasting phone, like better display, better battery, like everything is better on the iPhone 15 Pro. But that's not to say the 10R is a horrible phone. Like when this phone first came out, it was very important. Nowadays, though, it is an outdated device, but you don't have to go from a 10R to a 15 Pro. You can go from a 10R to a 14 Pro or to a 13 Pro even and still have a very big upgrade. So I would recommend doing, if I were you, get something like an iPhone 13 or newer. You don't have to go for the 15 Pro if you don't want to, but a 13 Pro, those types of phones will definitely give you a much better experience than something like an iPhone XR in this day and age. So that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.